So not all grays are bad, though, right? Some of them have helped us do some good things here on this planet, right?
A lot of good things, but the most famous one that involved probably millions of people across the planet that I remember is we were taking aboard a mothership, and what they did was they showed us the rainforest in Brazil and stuff, and they said, you need to save your planet. You're destroying the rainforest too quickly. And so the way I remember it was there was hundreds of people inside this, like, I'll call it a mothership, and there was a monitor, and then there were grays to make sure that we didn't lose our concentration on what they really wanted us to do. And they would show us the devastation of our planet and what would happen if we didn't start taking care of the rainforest and start caring about Mother Nature, because we were actually creating poisons and releasing toxins from destroying the rainforest. And what they were showing is if we let out certain bacteria or viruses from ancient times because we're uprooting or we're destroying the planet, it'll eventually catch up with us. So they had all these people across the world, and then when they got done with us, they would say, like, don't panic, help everyone. But it actually was going in everyone's head, so everyone was hearing the same message, but they would think that they were the only ones receiving it, which was beautiful. And then people would grab their clothing and might get clothing mixed up as they dropped this back off, or you might wake up in a different place than where you were. And people were going, well, how did I get here? What happened? Because they didn't want you to remember that you were on a ship. They wanted you to remember that the important thing was to save your planet, save the rainforest, save the whales, save different aspects of your own survival. And so that's what they did. And these were the lighter grades, in my opinion, okay? That's the way I remember. Some people might remember darker ones, but I remember more or less like being in a room of lighter ones when they were showing us the projections of what would happen to Mother Earth if we did not take care of our planet. And the proof on that was there was a lot of people after that actually got together to buy land to help save the rainforest, because that's what they were after. And the funny thing is, if you ever watched The Great American Superhero, they actually showed aspects of that in one of the series, one of the programs, which kind of like confirmed exactly what I went through and probably millions of other people. So that shows that they are working for our best interests. So all grays are not bad.
You said that you used to love the water, and then because of some traumatization from the gray ETs, now you don't like the water.
Right. I feel like I suffocate when I go in it. I can't hold my breath. And the reason why is because when they make a clone of you, they submerge them in a liquid type of oxygen water, which has electrolytes and all like that. And so when I went to go save my clone in the water, because I didn't want them to keep influencing me, that's another reason why I broke my connections with the graves and my family basically in general.
Yeah.
So once I was trying to attempt to do that, two things happened. One is I felt like I was in the water where he was, like we traded places for a moment, and I felt like I was drowning. And what the grace did to me, because I broke that container and basically the clone could no longer function, because it wasn't programmed to live outside the containment of that little cylinder that it lived in, they actually immersed me into this liquid water, which we do have, that you can breathe for deep sea, but this is for space travel.
Okay.
And they wanted to try to regenerate my cells so they could make another clone, but this time so I would not be able to basically, I guess what they wanted to do is, so I kind of like had no remembrance of it, but I did. And this is why spirit is stronger than the aspect of actually 3D assistance.
Thank God. So you got out of it okay?
I did, but ever since then, because I felt like I was drowning in water, which I didn't drown, it just feels that way. I had I used to love to go snorkeling and do stuff like that, but used to be able to hold my breath for a long time, and after that I couldn't do it anymore. I always had this paranoia of drowning.
Okay, this clone, did you give them permission to make this clone, or they did it without you knowing it?
They did it without me knowing it.
Oh, that's breaking some rules.
Yes.
Is this clone still around?
No.
Okay, so what happened to the clone?
When I broke the chamber, it died. It basically...
Okay, so you're glad.
Yes, I freed it and me, because what they would do is... The difference between a walk-in and everything else that you can feel sometimes, or even a person that comes in and you astral project, someone comes in, the difference between an actual clone of you is it can be influenced because it is you. And what the Greys could do was send thoughts into the clone that would be transferred over to me that I would think were my normal thoughts, and then I could be manipulated or controlled almost remotely. They didn't have to what do they call that? They didn't have to put implants in me or anything else, because they could just tell myself where they wished me to be.
Are they still doing this stuff today?
To some people, probably, but not all people. They have other techniques now.
Have you ever met one of these clones?
My own personal one?
Well, no, someone else's that you were convinced was a clone. Like,
No, but I saw other clone bodies in the ship that I was in.
oh,
They have thousands of them.
wow. It's kind of scary. That'd make a good movie.
They might already have a movie of that. I don't know. I just know that this happened when I was younger, and I was naive.
So now you just need to cure yourself of your phobia of water that's somehow linked to that experience.
Right. I don't mind swimming or anything. It's just going underneath the water. I feel like I'm going to drown if I... that's why I don't even like diving into the pool sometimes.